Wait, let's see. I got a chat. Okay, well, he just confirmed we are live. So welcome. So we are here for our. I don't like to go into episodes because I'm gonna have to remember all of this stuff. But you know what? This is show number 2, and I got my man here, Lonnie, with the sports talk. Bridget the Gap can't be with us today, but she left a ton of notes here. She's been jamming me up a lot. And of course, Christopher Barris, we got Mr. Williams, Jamal Williams working the controls and all that great stuff, along with Randy Williams working. And we are America's Mind Sports. So welcome everyone. So first of all, I know that I was going to start it off, but Lonnie just want to just ask you, man, how you feeling? How was your weekend? How was all that good stuff?
Weekend was great, man. I can't
Okay.
complain. Just sit back, did a couple of parties, DJing. I
Okay.
want to put out there. I'm DJ Lonnie, so you
You
ever
you
hear
know
me?
what you gotta come out with a book, man, because for your age, not putting it out there, man, you look fabulous. So
Thanks, man.
it's a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate
It's
that,
a
man. I
pleasure, man.
appreciate that. Yeah, man. I just try to eat those vegetables, man.
That's right. That's right. So there you go. She's giving you guys a cheat code right there to look fabulous.
Yeah.
Eat the vegetables. Try to add you some water. Speaking of that, my birthday just passed Saturday, so I'm in the 40-40 club. So
Happy belated birthday,
oh,
Chris.
thank
I
you,
see you
man.
there. You made it. Mine's
So
in
I
two
don't
weeks.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I done came in, man, and so far so good. So enough about us rambling and things like that. Let's talk about these finals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my prediction for game one kind of went as planned, and it kind of happened. So really quick for me, game one, I think to me was setting the tone, getting people involved defensively, getting everybody involved on the defensive end, a lot of communication, a lot of great shooting, a lot of space shooting that Boston brought to the table. And kind of overall, like in my personal opinion, on pretty much, I won't say dominating the game because they didn't dominate the game, but when the moment presented themselves, Boston took full advantage. And so those are just some of my things. Speaking of game one, and then Lonnie, I'll pass it on to you. So your thoughts on game one?
It's the same thing as you said. They was man. I mean, when a team come collective and everybody play on a game, it's very hard to beat a team that way. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
was just looking at the game one and I was just shaking my head. These guys not missing. Like
Mm-hmm.
everything they was putting up and they was having fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the first quarter, when I looked at the game and Steph Curry hit 6 threes, like he broke his record and the most threes in a quarter, I was
Mm-hmm.
all like, okay, go to stay on the A game. But he did that while Boston was still hanging around. And
Like
I was
Mark
all like,
Jackson did say, yeah.
exactly. So they came to play basically. I mean, they had it, and it's hard to beat a team when your quote unquote mojo is just flowing. You know what I'm saying? They just hitting all kind of shots. They
Great
played
point.
great defense. They hit on all cylinders. It was just very hard. Like that game one, I really don't have too much to say about it. But I'm looking at the stats where look, you had Marcus Smart with 18 points, man. 7 from 11. I mean, you had Jaylen Brown, 10 for 23, had 24. You had Derek White. He played 32 minutes, a lot of minutes, and he had
Mhm.
21 points. Then
Wow.
Al Horford leading the pack with 26 points and
Mhm.
9 for 12 shooting. I mean, I'm looking at all these stats, and just for those 4 people, and when I speak of 4 people, I'm talking about Marcus Smart, I'm talking about Jaylen Brown. I'm talking about Derek White, and I'm talking about Al Horford. So when you got those collective four people that's just automatically just shooting and everything is going in, and on top of that, you got a collective team effort playing good defense, it's hard to beat that team, and that's why they won the way they won. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you take it over, Chris.
Because even Virginia Gap, she kind of threw some jabs at Jaylen, saying I know he felt uncomfortable with that salmon colored suit and everybody was dark. And then she also said for the Celtics in the first quarter, a lot of Curry. Brown did kind of started stepping up, keeping them the game of reach and things like that. And then, when Boston started moving the ball well, then it started breaking down their defense, and what she shared with that. And so, and I totally agree with what she's saying too. And ball movement is extremely important. And I think, and we'll go into game 2, because I think that's with the Warriors focused on the next game. To me, I thought it was a little bit too much Curry. And it's hard to say that because Curry is great. But when you got 30 plus something, and then everybody else was kind of like 11, 12, 8, 9, 4, then it's kind of like maybe if these other guys could have got involved, if it was possible, then maybe it could have changed the outcome. Because we also do know when you have an explosion or a surge of points early, depending on the deficit that you create, teams can come back. Yeah. Like Mark Jackson said, hey, Curry with 21, hey, if I'm Boston, I feel comfortable. I feel good because we only down 4.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have to sit down.
Right.
That's going to disrupt rhythm. He's going to cool off. That's going to disrupt rhythm. And then also, too, the team are running sets. So you're not going to get all the sets called, as well. And, basketball is, one quarter at a time, one possession at a time as well. So, and I think that when I believe they were down kind of 15-ish, 15, 16, and then maybe 2 minutes into the fourth, they had sliced that to like 7 or 8. And it was like, ooh, I got in single digits. And it was a timeout called. By that time, Brown was kind of activated in. It was like 2 big 3-pointers in the fourth. Smarts with 2 big buckets. Horford not even really knowing, like, damn, you've been scoring like that. Yeah. You're wide. He was wide open like most of the time.
Right.
And as we can see that, in my opinion, again, I felt like the Celtics, to make this series interesting, they have to steal one on the road. So it put pressure on Golden State to steal one in Boston, because Boston can win their home games, like I stated, and it can become champion, because it's like they did their job. It was like, hey, we need to steal one on the road. We've seen the great Chicago Bulls teams, great Laker teams, Spurs, Detroit, etc., Celtics in the past. Those teams, when you look at how they won, it was like, they could protect their home court, but them fools come to your house and score and do whatever they gonna do at your house. Right. And it's like, hey, we ain't worried about coming back to here. We just gonna win the championship here. We'll do the parade, 2 days from today. We would love to work it on the win it on the home floor, but whatever. So, not saying I'm finished with game 1 now. I really think that Boston caught them off guard. I think that the Warriors have this type of swag. When you can shoot the ball as well as them, you kind of don't worry about deficit. in a sense. That's kind of like what I was getting with them too, because you know, 2, 3 3-pointers, 2, 3 3-pointers, you back in the game. You down 12, 15, you knock down 3 threes, and out of 4 possessions, you knocked off 9 points. So you bring a lead from here to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just think that Boston caught them off guard because people didn't expect Boston to shoot as well as they did. Even me, I figured that the defense was going to be really locked in as it was, and I felt like let me move over a little bit, and then I felt like that because of the defense have opened up the game for them. And it so happened that, oh my God, all of a sudden, man, they knocking down shots. It's like, whoa, okay. I didn't expect this, but
Right.
but you know, were you shocked at the way Boston, how well they shot the ball?
Yeah, I was very shocked the way they shot the ball, and they played good defense. And to that point of what you just said about that, you think Boston caught them off guard.
Mm-hmm.
Much credit to the coaching staff of Boston. Like I said, they coached hell of a game, man. They really did. So now, speaking of Boston on game 1, let's actually go to game 2.
Okay.
Game 2, coaching. And I have to give Steve Kerr props. You know why? Because I saw the beginning of that game, and Draymond Green, he got under their skin. They playing defense. They adjusted to their defense. They would start getting rebounds, boxing out. Steph Curry was in there in the paint getting rebounds too, and they was doing as a collective team. As I told you, Boston was a collective team game 1. So they basically said, if y'all could do it, we could do it too. We knew we were supposed to win game 1. We was up 14 points.
That's true.
They was all like, nah. So when we get up by 15, we going to keep it at 15 or more. They knew not to make that mistake game 2.
And so veteran teams do that.
It's called adjusting. So let me go back to the stats. I told you the stats of game 1 of the Boston Celtics players. Now, I just want to go through this real quick on game 2. Game 2, you got Jaylen Brown with 17. It's almost identical. He had 24 or something like that the first game. This game, he has 17. Guess what Marcus Smart has? He has 2 points. He didn't score, but 2 points. Guess how many points Al Horford had? 2 points.
Yeah, so wow. That's like a 24-point differential difference.
Tatum went off. Tatum had a bad game the first game. He didn't play that well. But that game 2, he had 28. And they could live by that. Golden State could live by. They'd rather have one person scoring this high number than a collective bargain of players with Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, all these players, Grant Williams. They shut these guys down game 2.
Wow.
That's a big difference in winning the game. So, with that said, this game 2, if they continue to play like this, Golden State, Celtics don't have a chance.
I agree
because they have to hit their shots. Marcus Smart has to get in that 15-point range. Al Horford got to get in that 15 to 20-point range. Jaylen Brown have to continue to do what he do. Then you got Tatum, he have to get like a 40-point game. Golden State played as a team last game. Like, let's go to Golden State real fast. Let's go to Golden State stats. Golden State stats. I mean, Steph Curry. I mean, come on now. I mean, it was ridiculous. Okay, we got Steph Curry with 29.
Okay.
He was 9 for 21 field goal. We
Okay.
got Wiggins. He had a bad game. He didn't play too well, but he had 11. Then
So
you got Klay Thompson.
he matched his point from the game one, I think. I think game
Yeah.
one he had like 11 or 12.
So
Okay.
Klay Thompson ain't even got off how he really want to get off. And I believe that he knew that he had a bad game because he was missing a lot of easy shots.
Yeah.
And he still
had 15, I think, but we know that's because y'all we know that like Thompson can explode for 25. You know,
32.
The way he does it, I don't know if the Boston Celtics defense will allow. That's the only difference that I see. But no, but you do have very key valid there too.
Yeah.
How much did he have?
You got Wiggins had 11. Klay Thompson had 11. Jordan Poole had 17.
Okay, that was huge.
Draymond Green had 9, and LonEE had 12. So, I mean, what I said, I mean, to this, it's a collective bargain. And then they played Gary Payton II, and he was sticking a lot of key players with his defense. So,
and that's his role there too.
Exactly. So you gotta include him in, and Iguodala didn't even play that game. So that was all.
Andre, I think only played because Gary Payton's out.
Yeah. So now he's playing. Yeah. They got him active, and he's playing. And he played 25 minutes, which is big, a lot of minutes for him because his defensive wise. So they found. So shout out to Steve Kerr and the coaching staff from Golden State. See, it's all basketball is all about now. It's always been that way, but it's all about adjusting to winning and stopping players for having the green light. What I mean by that is that game one, it was a collective bargain of Boston Celtics that was scoring threes and stuff. They was doing it still in game two because Boston was right there the whole time, but they just let up. And guess what? It became a mental thing because and that's where the experience came in because Draymond Green and them, they was getting under their skin. They, Draymond Green and Brown, they got into this little like physical, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing and stuff. It kind of threw them off a little bit. Marcus Smart to only have 2 points the next game, of course, it was something wrong. So now Boston have to make that adjustment. It's Boston that has to make an adjustment because now they at home. And in my personal opinion, I think that Boston plays worse at home than when they away. I think they are a better away team. That's
my other point there. I won't lie and say that I know that to a fact. I will say this. I know when we think of Tatum, because Bridget Gap, she really, before I go into that, so she did put in some of her notes here that the Celtics were kind of taking advantage of the second unit. They couldn't really get the lead or create anything with the starters, but the second unit was kind of the vulnerable part for them. And I do agree with that. And even what you were saying too, you talked about Horford saying that the pace might be too quick for him. Also, with the other role players, how much are you anticipating for them to continue that high level of what they played in game one? And I also agree as well.
Yeah.
And to add to that, to answer to that, if I'm Jason Tatum, I get that he is infatuated with Kobe Bryant and that's his favorite player and he wants to be like him. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But here's the difference from Kobe versus Tatum. Kobe had made shots and had to make great shots because there's no one else there to make the shots. Right. You know what I mean? And even back with the Shaq days, Kobe was the best perimeter player. And even when he won it with Gasol, Kobe was still the best perimeter player. But then Kobe did mildly start creating trust in his teammates, which was Gasol, Lamar Odom, and Metta World Peace. So, and Derek Fisher as well. So if I'm Tatum, greatness, I would try my best to have that infectious and spread with my teammates. Basically, like, hey, there's no difference between me and you. I've seen this is why I will be talking to. I've seen you knock these shots down, bro. I've seen you in the gym working, bro. I've seen you here with me every day working. So look, when I get here, I'm gonna put you in this position to do this.
Right.
Because Boston is not, like you stated, is not a one-on-one team. Yeah, Tatum at 28, Brown at 24, but everybody else was mediocre. And that's not going to win you the basketball game. I think with the game one of how they played more of a collective group effort, like, hey, I need you to knock these shots down and I need you guys to make this, and I need you to shoot the ball with confidence. I need you to really be poised and focused on that. And that's what I would instill in them. You know what I mean? Because, you know, and I would say, hey, I'm not trying to be MVP. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do that. What I want is for us to be on that stage.
Right.
See, that's what, when great players start saying that, when you go back to the Magic Johnson era, Magic just wanted to win. Like, look, I just want to win. I don't care about that. You talk about Jordan, but Jordan was like, look, I wanted this so better than them. I wanted them to get it. That's why I was willing them to, you know, like, nah, man, like, I understand I'm me, but y'all out here, I need you to make that. I want you to have this. So as leadership and as great players are developed, I think that those things have to be implemented and I think for Boston, for Tatum and Brown, especially Tatum, because he's basically putting it out there that I'm that guy. That yes, you can be that guy, but also have that ability to will your teammates. As far as on the Warriors side, I feel like there needs to be a little bit more production. I think that I would pull Thompson. Let's not focus on threes. Let's kill him in the mid range. I want to do pick and roll, and then I want you in the medium area, that 16, 18 feet. I want right there, because I feel like if I could give you 6 passes, I think you can knock down 4. That's 4, and then these are, I call opportunity buckets, where it's like you got the catch and shoot. If it's a good closeout, then you got to attack the basket, possibly a 3-point opportunity, as well as, you know, getting to the free throw line. It did kind of get your groove, you know, because it's hard to set up threes. When you think about it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let me quote you on that about the mid range of what you wanted from Golden State. They want that to happen, but it's not. You straight up going against the number 1 defense in the NBA. Marcus Smart and them shutting that down. I can tell you this right now.
You got to do 2 passes.
Yeah,
it has to be. You got to be a touch pass.
Yeah,
2 passes.
You have to pass the ball. But Golden State, what they doing is they are trying to make the Boston Celtics tired in some sense. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of passes that Steph Curry came in, passed it to their center, and he'd dunk it or he'd be wide open. You know what I'm saying? Because they noticed that they have to break down the defense first. Because that's how you do it. You kind of get them tired. You use the 24-second clock as much as you can. And then when it's go time, it's go time. And then you try to get that 2 points. But if the 2 is not there, that's when they try to go for the 3. You get what I'm saying? So they want those little, you know, in the key shots, you know what I'm saying, by the free throw line a little bit. They want those. And Klay Thompson, there's 2 guys, like I said. It's Klay Thompson and it's Wiggins. Those 2 guys is mediocre right now. scoring 11 points.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that game 3, this is just my prediction. I believe that game 3, Klay Thompson has 27 points or more. I'm putting it out there.
And it's in Boston. They play in Boston, right?
They at Boston, and I think Klay Thompson have more points than his first 2 games and a better performance, a way better performance. Just for the simple fact that what you addressed about the little 15-footers, I think they find a way and they try to tire Boston down. I think Draymond Green is going to do what he do and try to get under their skin, because this is the game that the world want to watch. This game is going to be very important, very special, because they at Boston. First game at Boston, because
it sets the tone. Yeah,
it's the tone game, like you said. Boston stole home court advantage right now. Warriors trying to get it back. They want that first game.
Yeah,
Steph Curry is about to try to cook. I mean, they want that first game, but Boston is going to be ready as well. They got their crowd behind them, and Steph is ready to shut up the crowd.
I agree.
Yeah.
And if I'm Boston, I'm coming in with the mentality of physicality. So, but not physical on defense. Physicality on offense. So what I will be doing for, like, Boston has bigger guards. Jalen is 6'7", Tatum 6'8". So they're much bigger guards. Right. So I'm setting up where it's like, you know what? I'm creating post opportunities, and I'm creating, one dribble moves where, because I think with Tatum, because he can post and he's trying to post like how Kobe used to post, I think the difference in where he's messing up at a little bit is that he's too far. See, you got to post closer. I think he's getting the ball 16, 17, and it's just too hard there. I think that if I'm Boston and I'm like, look, I want this ball around the free throw and a little bit in between there. I need activity right there.
And on that note, I think that when they come close in like that, I think they miss more shots. I think their field goal percentage is less than when they outside because of Golden State's defense. You got Draymond Green right there and everything, and they alternate shots a lot in that paint area a little bit. So that's why they can't get the shot that they want inside. Outside, and where Tatum is shooting at, that's where they at. I mean, that's where they have success at. I mean, pretty much, and then transition, up the, that's what they got. But they was turning the ball over too in games.
That's the number one problem, Boston, and
they was turning the ball over.
They turned the ball over a lot.
They was going to the hole, and they was Golden State was stripping them, and that's a difference. Versus Boston was doing that game 1 a little bit, but they was making shots. And I said, it's rare that a team makes shots like that, like how they was making. I mean, it was ridiculous. And it can happen again. That Boston can do it again, but I think them chances is very slim. I believe Golden State could do what they did, but I think it's slim that Boston can actually do what they did game 1, because that was just phenomenal. And it was just, everything was just going in. But they can do it again. I'm not saying they can't, but with Golden State adjusting from game 2 and playing more physical, because game 1 they wasn't that physical, but now game 2, I see they was more physical, more like into it, like, nah, we winning this game. So when you come up with the mindset like, nah, yeah, we gonna win this game, it's kind of hard to beat a team like that with experience. You know what I'm saying? With experience, yeah.
And I think even to add Bridget Gap, she even said that she believes that the Warriors is relying too much on the three, and then they missed a lot of easy opportunities game two.
They did.
So she feels like that they should focus less on the three and focus on trying to get those easy opportunities in the painted area, and you win championships in the paint.
Yeah.
If I'm Boston, and she's right about that too. If I'm Boston, I'm gonna play the best 3-point defense. Meaning I'm gonna over pursue. I'm gonna over pursue to force you to dribble past me, to give up these threes. Because when you look at Golden State and when you look at how many threes per game they make, threes are like and ones. Like now, I'll go back. I'll go back to where Miami with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. Now that wasn't a great 3-point shooting team. They had shooters, Battier, Allen, but we're talking about maybe 4 to 5 threes a game. We're not talking about double-digit threes. And basically, the cheat code for them was LeBron and Wade can get to the basket. So they're getting and one opportunities. So when you got a guy that's making 10 free throws, out of 10 free throws, let's say 4 of those points are and 1 points, then that creates the margin. Those is equivalent of 3-point shots.
Right.
So I feel like that Boston needs to minimize the 3-point attempts, period. Don't give them the opportunity to knock down the shot, over pursue, and force them inside, because I feel like inside is 50-50, but at the end of the day, it's still 2 points. 2 points is 2 points. Because, see, I would be like, okay, I don't need them shooting 40-something%. And then here it is, they shot 39% from the three. Because when you add up those points, let's say 12 3-pointers, that's 12 extra points on regular field goal possessions. So you could be shooting, and I think this is what Golden State's game plan. It's the D'Antoni game plan too, where it's like, hey, we could be identical or close to the same field goal percentage, but if I beat you on 3-point attempts and makes, these extra points, if I knock down 15 threes out of, let's say, 40, but we both shooting 45%, but I beat you by 10 points because I got 15 extra points for three, because they're 3-point field goal makes. And I think that Golden State kind of relies on the 3-point shot. We've seen it. They won championships with, so let's not give credit where credit is due. They won with that formula of being able to dictate the tempo of shooting 3-pointers at a very high rate and very consistent. And, we know that Curry is good for 5 at least. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't guard Thompson a certain way, he's good for 5, 6 himself. That's already 10 threes, and we got 10 extra points, on the board, some kind of way.
So look, on that note too, what you just said, like, shutting down a three. So now, like, you made a point earlier about the guard position, about Boston having bigger guards, bigger guards. You look at Steph and you look at Klay Thompson. Steph is a way better ball handler. You know what I'm saying? So he could break down the defense with his dribbling. You know what I'm saying? And it will be difficult for Boston because game 2, Marcus Smart was on Steph Curry, trying to shut him down.
Well, that's because, if you think about the pick and roll, not to cut you off, they put him in a little circumference.
Yeah.
So, because when you look at the way when you look at the way Golden State shoots threes, it's not the traditional way like kind of like when we played it. It's not the 1 foot, 2 foot gather and you pull up.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these dudes will go to the 17 foot and then they'll shuffle back. So what I'm saying, when you over pursue, you stay, you widen the circumference, but the 3-point line, that's your back against the wall. So I overplay. He passes me. This 3-point is my wall.
Yeah.
Don't chase after him because he got the ability, like you said, the ball handling. He can mix the big man. Now you're trying to trail and help.
Right.
He's going to pop back to the 3 or pop it back to the 3. And you're going to get that 3-point attempt. So it's just a matter of picking and choosing. As we can see that this is a game of chess. So, you know, I like to also say too, you know, pick your poison, you know, on what it is that you want to do. I feel like too, like I'm still on this too when it comes to just old school basketball. Whoever Curry is guarding, take Curry to the basket. Put him in a pick and choose situation.
Foul trouble.
Yeah. Pick and choose. They kind of did it. That was the only thing they didn't do with my prediction when it was like game 3rd quarter. I felt like it was Curry had 3. It was like, ooh, around 5 minutes, they need to kind of go right at him, get that 4.
And it's called playing aggressively offensively.
Yeah,
for Boston.
I feel like Boston needs
if they start doing that and going to the hole and people cutting and stuff, and they could actually get layups, but they have to play aggressively though. So that'll be a big difference in Boston if they actually do that. You get what I'm saying? Instead of relying, because they relied on the 3 a lot. Because they was trying to match up with Golden State, which they were successful. Great game 1, game 2. They couldn't do it because they had a collapse. You know what I'm saying?
I think they played zone. Warriors play zone too. So I think
a couple of points.
I think they because I would do a 5 out and just you know whoever got a small or a opportunity cut hard and just get it and get the drive in, but the zone will kind of slow that down. I'm like. I still think that Boston, my mind's still not changing.
Okay.
I think that Boston did exactly what they were supposed to do because game 2 is adjustments, like you stated. It was like, oh, okay, they doing this, they doing that. So when they came out, it was like all they T's was crossed, all those I's was dotted. Where it was like, okay. Because I think even Bridging the Gap had stated too that it was too much Curry and not enough activity off ball with the Warriors. And it kind of became the Steph show. And, you know, I think that the Steph show just started too early. I think if that surge would have happened like mid-3rd, oh yeah, they got a problem. Because now you don't got time to try to figure this out. You need to try to, I don't know, you're going to have to match. And now if you start matching 2s with 3s, you're going to be down.
So here's my prediction right now. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Because this is what we here for. This is the Steph Curry shot right here. Okay. This game 3 is going to be a big game, man. It's going to be a big game. I think it's going to be so physical that somebody get ejected, and I think it's going to be Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? I really think so. It's very important. I think Boston wins the game by 6 to 7 points, maybe at home. 6 to 7 points in a close one. I think Boston take the lead and go up 2-1.
Okay.
After that, I think Warriors make an adjustment. I think they take game 4, game 5, game 6 at Warriors. I think they win 3 in a row. I think it'd be so hard that Boston can't adjust to that adjust to them winning again, just for the simple fact that it's coaching. I mean, game 2 said it all for me. You know what I'm saying? For them to win by that margin and to, you know what I'm saying, and be successful at what they did. I think game 3, the Warriors try to test out Klay Thompson, try to get him more involved, to have him shoot the ball more. You get what I'm saying? And I think it's going to hurt Golden State for some reason.
Yeah.
I think they want to get Wiggins and Klay Thompson the green light instead of Steph Curry trying to do it all. I think they want to give them involved in the game. And then
which makes sense because you need them later in the series.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they lose this next game. I won't be surprised if they lose. But the next 3, I think they come to play that next game because that's like a must win to me. You know, to tie it up 2-2. That game 4. And then game 5, they in Boston. Now that game 5 is like the bread and butter. Like that's gonna be the hard-nosed game. This game 3 is a hard-nosed game, but if it's 2-2 and you go into game 5, I mean, I think Warriors gonna be ready to play. And then they want to bring it home to Golden State and win it in 6. I mean, 4-2. You know, I think they win 4-2. You know,
and no rebuttal. It sounds great, and it's a great game plan. And if I was to just challenge that, I'm going to focus on the most important piece to the puzzle, which is points. So I know that last week you were going with the comparison from Brown versus Draymond and in the points department. And I think that I will take my chances with if Smarts and Horford can combine 20 points together, it creates a big problem. And I will confidently say that I think those guys can do that. I think that they can score. Yes, I think it's a lot trying to stretch for 15, 20. Those were just blockbuster games. But I think that, especially if I go to the Horford matchup and the Draymond matchup, Horford can score better than Draymond. And, the problem I think, or one of the concerns I have with Draymond is that it's not enough productivity on scoring for him. And so it puts so much pressure, like you said, with trying to get Klay involved. Steph is doing Steph. Wiggins got to be big. Like, these guys going to have to do it. And see, I don't know if they're ready for that. And see, as well, and see, it's a two-sided sword with Draymond. Yeah, he's the anchor of your defense, yes, but he's also holding you down as an anchor on liability to score. And the problem that what I have with Draymond is that he has the ability to score. He could take his players off the dribble. He can post. He actually has the ability to shoot the 3. So I feel like for Golden State to really run away with this, Draymond has to give them points. He has to give them 10 to 12 points each game, like you're stating, for them to run away with this and get them in 6. Because see, what's going to happen, it's kind of average right now. If you look at Horford 26 to Draymond's 4, right? Like this. So Horford had a bad game. But then Draymond had the same. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is the motion in the ocean is not settled yet. But this could still sway either way.
And let me tell you the difference on that note. It's not about points when it comes to Horford and Draymond Green. Now, what it is a more mental thing on the court. It's more physical. I looked at the highlights I could see on Facebook and all this and everything that Draymond Green set 3 picks for Steph Curry to hit that 3. It was like boom, 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 3 picks. It's what he does on the court in his experience. Al Horford, he plays good defense. He hits the 3, but is his mind set to win that championship? No,
I agree with that.
I think it's Draymond Green because he wants it so bad. Because guess what? It's called adjustment from game 1 to game 2. Draymond Green played way better on game 2 than game 1. He was more physical, and you could tell he wanted. And when a team wants that type of effort, and they want to grab this championship and really want it, you could see it, the fire in him. Kobe, you could see the fire when they really want it. Dude, Tatum and Jaylen Brown really, and Al Horford really want it. You have to really look at their thing. I think Marcus Smart really won it. He just not that special player. He has good defense, but he's not a Kobe. He's
a system guy. He fits into the system.
You get what I'm saying? He's a role player. He's doing his job. But Tatum has to be like, do we really want it? But he needs help from Jaylen Brown. He needs help from his supporting cast, his bench players. They need that help. Because if they don't have that help to beat these Golden State Warriors with this experience, with Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson haven't woke up yet.
Yeah.
Look, he haven't woke up. So can you imagine Klay Thompson waking up and Steph Curry doing what he's doing right now?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a big
shot to beat them offensively.
I agree.
You can't catch them because they hitting everything. So they have to play defense 24/7 on that court. Boston have to play defense. They have to keep playing on how they playing. But they had a mishap the last game because it's called energy. Basketball is energy too. They feed off the crowd. Golden State feed off the crowd. So now you got Golden State Warriors in here. I believe the pressure is on Boston right now. You got to protect the Boston Celtics logo in the home. That major pressure is on Boston. They have a major pressure on them because if they lose this game, this next game on game 3, if they lose this game, they in trouble.
I agree because that means that everything they worked hard on game 1 is in vain. Yeah. I agree. I think that Golden State, I feel like Boston needs to take a page out of Memphis and see in that series what Memphis was doing. And Memphis was not a better shooter or shooting team than Boston, in my opinion, but having athleticism. And I feel like that, some key matchups, there's an athleticism mismatch. So I think that for Boston to try to get this, shake, rattle, and roll it is to exploit some of these matchups on the athleticism level because Boston's a bigger team, but don't play into Golden State.
Boston need to blow them out because if they blow them out by 20, 30 points, they blow out the Warriors, then I'll have to second guess. Like I have to say it's game 7. If they blow them out, if the Boston Celtics win 20 or more points on Golden State, I would have to say that it's going game 7 because I'm not expecting that for them to blow them out. I'm expecting them to win, and if they win by 6 or 7, that's still 4-2 series for me.
So you want to? So
I want to see Boston blow them out the same way.
No, I agree. So because I love this chess piece that we're doing, and we see like we're rooting for both in a sense, but just doing the X's and O's is just fun and things like that, and I enjoy it and stuff. But we both did agree we're gonna be here for 48 hours, and things like that. So, So then really brief, well, not even brief, there's no time limit here. So we'll be back Monday. So that's going to be game 3 and 4 that we'll be talking about next week, I believe. Yeah, because they put 3 games in between, right?
Yeah.
3 days in between each game, right? They're kind of spreading it out, letting it.
Right. Wednesday is game 3.
Wednesday's game 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
game 4 will be Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's actually probably Friday. I'm thinking it's Friday, and then Sunday will probably be the next game in Boston.
You think they're gonna play 3? Yeah, I gotta look at the schedule. Yeah, that's crazy. We're talking sports. Yeah. We didn't even look at this. Look at the schedule. But okay, no, I can see that. Then we could. So, game 3 and game 4, and there's no time limit here, anything like that, because I enjoy just basketball talk. Period. Right. So, in your game recap, game 3, who gets it, who and how? In game 4 predictions, who gets it out?
All right, game 3, I think Boston win in a close one. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with it because the way they play defense, they're the number 1 defensive team. Mm-hmm. But it's a percentage of me like saying the Warriors going to steal it. Like,
so, let's pause right there. So share why they could get that. What would you think if you're Warriors right now? And these guys just coming in to put the nail in the coffin. What are you gonna do?
It's fact. If you're going Boston, we don't play good at home. They play better away. To me, that's just me. I saw a couple of games where Boston just was struggling. I mean, the crowd is just quiet. You know what I'm saying? But when they own the crowd, hollering and everything. But you going against Steph, going against Klay Thompson, and the only thing that I feel that the Golden State Warriors is going to do, they're going to test out Wiggins and Klay Thompson to get them more involved in the offense, and that could do or die them. It could make them win this game, or it could break them. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if it goes down south, I think that Boston be more successful with Marcus Smart hitting his shots. I think the bench players step up a little bit because it's energy. Because this is their first game at home. They pumped up. They came off a bad loss. They have a desire to win in this game, and they make some adjustments. Now, this game could actually tire them out. They could actually be tired. In the next game, the Golden State Warriors have a bag of tricks for them, and they win that next game. You get what I'm saying? So, basically, I really got Boston to win in a close one. Mm-hmm. And then, after that, Warriors, the mighty Warriors. I think they win 3 in a row. I think Boston don't have no answer. I think they win the 2 in Boston.
3 and 4 is Warriors for you.
Yeah.
And I believe that Bridget Grab's the same. I'm just gonna kind of try to think of her or like her because she did say, "Where's the killer mentality?" So she's on the psyche in mental capacity, like what you explained earlier with Draymond, and basically he's stating to put them out of their misery. Yeah. Basically, do what you got to do. You know what you need to do, and just get it done. Also, that when you do get up on them, pretty much don't allow them back in the game. And also, she's still saying too that pretty much the only time that Boston really starts scoring or being more effective is on the second unit. So, be up comfortable enough so when they start making their run, then you still have a good, comfortable lead. So basically, so many words, but she's indicating that, just get on top of them and just do what you got to do and don't allow them back in the game. And yes, mentally, that takes a lot of fortitude to do that. So I do agree. She did say 5 and 6. So I'm assuming that she would probably be more on the same thing as you. That pretty much Golden State, should handle business and take care of that. And I'm still a little bit on the debate of I feel like that Boston wins game 3, and I feel like that they exploit some matchup issues because there are some matchup issues there. So I feel like that Boston does that. I also feel like if they do this in the collective effort offensively, they're very difficult to beat. Again, I did circle the points between Horford and Draymond. Draymond's not really that much impactful offensively, but I think if Smarts and him can combine for 20 or more points, it creates a better opportunity for them. And if Golden State, how they can get away from this wave, I feel like to put it more in a collective effort, less Steph Curry, and let's just kind of do, because Steph is his own guy. So I respect that and love him for that.
Yeah.
So I would say kind of be like that Gilbert Arenas, kind of like that Steve Nash guy. Because when you think about Steve Nash, part of the 40-40 club, 40% for 3, 40% for field goals as a career. So, and also Steve Nash averaging little over 10 assists per. So, I feel if Curry gets 10 or more assists, that obviously opens the opportunity that means that either Wiggins, Draymond, or Thompson are going to have that 25-point plus that you were predicting because that happened too. And see, along with the 20-plus surge, 10 to 12 assists distributed out among those 3 guys, now we're talking about 22, 23 points possible. And yes, that will definitely, change the outlook because now you got 2 guys that's going off in scoring, and Boston doesn't have enough firepower to contain both of these guys co-starring with each other and scoring points. I do agree. If that happens, game 4, if it's in Boston, I say that Boston doesn't give up that home court. I feel like still keep that edge that we must win. I feel like going back to what I was saying before with Tatum, hey, I know that the attention is on me. I don't care about 20 plus. I care about 15 and 13, meaning I scored 15 points, I got 13 assists, and I got a cohesiveness of individual scoring snibbling over their average. 20 points for Horford in first game was humongous, along with all of the other people that was knocking down shots. And obviously, when a team is heating up, they're very difficult to beat. So I say for Boston, that's what I'm coming in. I would say Tatum 17 and 12. Those are the numbers. Brown, the same. 17 in 5, 6, few rebounds, because he's not the distributor. He's usually getting the ball distributed to him. So handful of rebounds or a handful of assists. If he hits that 17, 19 points, Tatum 15 to 20 max. I need 10 assists. And I think that this opens the door for Boston tremendously because other people are involved, clearly. I feel like, again, for the Warriors, overcome that. I just don't want Steph to run out of gas. I'm not saying that he has, and not saying that he will. But it's really, really hard when you're the only guy because then people will just super key in on you. Or we're going to give you yours, but we're going to shut everybody else down. So, because what's the point of having 35, but you lost by 15? Yeah, you did your job, but everybody else was absent or tardy.
Right.
So, I don't see if game 4 is at home, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see Boston losing that game. I'm still stuck on Boston winning their home games, and it might go in 6 because it switches. I think
the series then, because the next 3 is in Boston.
The next 3 are wow. I thought it split. I thought it was like
the last 2 is Golden State and Golden State, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it did 1-1, but if it's that, that puts a lot of. We'll see.
Yeah,
I don't see Boston beating them 3 games in a row.
Right.
So this forces a game 7 for me, which, like I stated, if they go 7, the pressure and it favors Golden State. Ooh.
Yeah.
We gonna focus on breakfast and dinner. Or breakfast. So next to Boston, you got a mild semi-split, but you still favoring Golden State, at least to guarantee to steal 1.
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. Because the thing is that if the Warriors, like I said, the Warriors winning, this is an important game right here. This game. Everybody got to watch this next game right here in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's going to say a lot. I want to see them defensively, the Golden State Warriors. I want to see Boston defensively, and I want to see both of them offenses. I want to see how many 3-point shots they put up. I want to see how many they miss. I want to see who's the X factor of the game. I want to see who's actually hustling and who wants it more. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's all kind of stuff I want to see this next game on Wednesday. So I'm gonna sit down, have my little drink, and just look at this game all detailed into it, because that next game is going to be important as well. If Golden State loses this next game, they have to come back with a win. Because if they lose that game, guess what? Boston's up 3-1.
We'll see
one more game, it's over with.
And then that increases the chances for a steal. And I agree. If Golden State doesn't win game 3, it guarantees forces the Warriors to win in Boston. It guarantees it. So it just makes it harder for them. But it's like game 3, it's kind of like a must win for Golden State, because Boston could lay a goose egg. I will hope not. But Boston be like, well, we got 2 games at home.
But that's what I was saying, Chris, about the pressure is on Boston. Because it's a must win for Golden State. You just said it. That pressure is on Boston.
I see what you're saying.
They at home, you gotta protect your home court advantage. Right? So
I see what you're saying.
The pressure is on them to make every shot, and that's pretty, to me, that's kind of bad, kind of a little bit. Like, that's why I said this game 3 is kind of shaky. I'm looking at Boston for Marcus Smart and Al Horford to have that game 1 a better game than game 2, because they only scored 2 points apiece. And you at home, you gonna give me another 2 points at home? Are you really gonna give me another 2 points?
You're not gonna be able to do that. And I feel like too that going into the old school mentality, also like we stated, that defense does win games and championships, but also points in the paint, and creates what's gonna sets the tone. So I think that the championships are won in the painted area as well. So I feel like it's gonna be real interesting to see, who's gonna accept the challenge to try to make their presence felt in the painted area. So I might, that's my prediction. So it's gonna be real interesting and stuff like that. And you know what? Just on a side note, man, this is extremely fun and fruitful for me because you're extremely detailed like me. So this, this is just really entertaining and fruitful. So I really hope that the viewers are really watching how
Yeah.
we're really dissecting this game, really focusing on not only like the key matchups, but some of the not attributes, intangibles, and things that need to be implemented that are not just point produced. You know what I'm saying? Physicality, mental fortitude, will to win. Adversity. All of those things are unculturable, intangible. So that's what makes this so uh, interesting because it's just going to be of what are you made out of? Are you for tough or what? Because you're going to get tested, you're going to get challenged. That's why I said with Tatum, if it was me, if I was Jason Tatum, I would be open to the challenge, but I would be inviting to accept people in this realm of greatness where I'm trying to be, and let's do this together. And that,
Right.
That's my final spin on that. Because I'm leaning more on Boston. So that's why I gave Boston a final quote. But that's what I would do. And then I think with Curry is fantastic. But I think if Curry ups the assists, then this guarantees victory for Golden State because with more assists involved, that means that there's other people knocking down good quality buckets for your club, and then it takes the pressure off of you because you're gonna be great if y'all win. You're gonna be MVP still, so you don't gotta hit them for 30 and 40. Hit them with a good 25 and 12. Don't turn the ball over too much. Add a couple of steals, maybe 1 or 2 rebounds, and boom, there you go, victory.
Hey,
So
something knocked in my head right now. Wait, red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert. I have a change of heart, man. I'm just sitting here and listening to. I'm thinking. I have a change of heart. I think Golden State Warriors win this next game.
Okay.
I think Andrew Wiggins shows up. I think Klay Thompson shows up big. I think those guys. I really think on a roll. I think they show up. I don't know what hit me. I just think that they had a bad game the first 2 games, and not a good game that they would want to have. I mean, they was missing layups a little bit and stuff, and driving to the hole. I think they adjust to that, and they beat Boston. I have a change of heart. I think Golden State Warriors go up 2-1. I have Boston winning by 6, but I could see. I actually could see Klay Thompson and Wiggins stepping up their game.
And I know the gameplay they could do, but I'm afraid that this network could be tapped. And they be like, wait, that's a good idea. Because see, if I'm Golden State to get Wiggins and get Thompson involved, it's in transition in open court.
Yeah.
Big spots. Hopefully the defense is getting lost scrambling, and you could probably get some good open. Not maybe 3.
Hey, Chris, let me tell you something. Some people is just not uncomfortable playing at home when it comes to b-ball, but when they away, they ball out. Mm-hmm. They ball out. Like some people, it's just they have. Like Kobe could play at home and away, but he loves the crowd. He loves
being on the road.
Boo and stuff. Boo, boo. I mean, they feed off of that, and they desire to win comes stronger because they away, and I'm beating you on your home court.
Oh yeah, that's one of the best feelings. Like my homeboy Mike used to say when we used to play 2K, he'd be like, "Man, it's my pleasure to come to the home court and beat y'all." My pleasure.
Hey,
so
that's the ultimate win. So if they win this game, what I'm trying to say, if they win this, that's what I said, that major pressure is on Boston. They lose this game, it could be a disaster after that. Meaning that I don't see Boston coming back. I mean, I don't see them coming back. I just see it because they took the soul out of them. At home though. They took it back. They took it back.
All right, we gonna leave it there. So game 3 for me, Boston. Game 3 for you is Golden State. You also stated you probably have Golden State in game 4. Yeah. I feel like that Boston can't afford to be giving away the home court back to them. So I predict for game 4 to be Boston. It won't be easy, but I have those are our predictions on here. And really quick, I just want to just state for Lonnie, thank you so much. Mr. Williams working the controls, thank you so much. Everybody that's tuned in and watching, thank you so much. All that wonderful stuff, And anything else you want to add? Any sprinkles on top or cherry for anybody, Lonnie? Before we wrap this up.
Hey, nothing much. Stay safe, stay blessed, and yes, God loves you, man. This is DJ Lonnie, man.
Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate you guys. So again, DJ Lonnie here. I'm Christopher Barris, Mr. Williams, Jamal Williams, Randy Williams, working the controls. Jamal, you got anything for us before we wrap this up? We'll see if he has any words for us and anything like that. And this guy. He's the one that he's the heartbeat of everything here because he works the controls and all that great stuff. So thank you again. Bridging the Gap TV couldn't make it today, but she states that she will be trying to tune in with us moving forward. She's very, very excited to be on here. And from a woman's perspective, to add a lot of knowledge and feedback into the game because she's very knowledgeable as basketball as well. So with all that being said, everyone have a wonderful evening. And we will be back same time, same bat channel, 5-ish.
Hey, shout out to Randy. Shout out to my girl, Randy.
Hey.
How you doing, baby girl?
Oh, yeah, shout out. So, yeah, we'll be here 5-ish because, sometimes, things happen. So, I'm just joking. But anywho, so we're going to wrap this up. So, everyone, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for tuning in. You guys will see me on Sunday for America's Minds. Sorry, I had a brain freeze there. So you guys will see me Sunday. I might try to go on live on Instagram on Wednesday. Just talk about some random things. Also, Political Crap by Jamal. Please tune in to that. And all people that are here, please subscribe. Like I stated before, make me broke because I did state for the new subscribers, got a little something for y'all. I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth all the way, but make me a believer. So that being said, everyone have a wonderful evening.